Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome! My name is Wendy Eldam, and you are here with Career Elevation. You happen to be in luck. I have a pre-recorded video for you, because I didn't know that you were going to be here today. And the pre-recorded video is all about how to use Canva to create your resume. If you don't know what Canva is, you are missing out. Canva is an amazing website to which today I am going to show you how to create the resume, but not the whole thing. I'm just showing you the formatting so that it allows you to utilize the website and you don't struggle, you're not on it for a long time. The other really good thing about Canva is that they have pre-loaded templates that are very creative for whatever niche you want. And I really kind of go in depth on how to move boxes, how to change font, how to change colors, how to change the background, how to change your photo if you want to have a photo, like a ton of different things within this video that I'm going to show you. So I encourage you to watch the entire thing because there's lots of really good information in here if you've never used Canva before. This is a really good tutorial. And I even learned something while I was making this video. Which is pretty cool because there was something that I was really struggling with, and I was like, I'm sure that there's a way because there's always a way, right? I clicked some more buttons and clicked some more, and I found it out. So super excited about that. That was not in the video though. So stay tuned for this video about how to create a beautiful resume with Canva.
Resume examples. And these are some different examples that they already have templates for you. And I'm just going to scroll until I find one that I really like. And I'm feeling pink today, so let's go with this one. So I'm going to make this slightly bigger so that I can see it a smidge bit better. And I really love how just simple this is, and I'm going to show you lots of different tips and tricks to make this really you. So I think that this hot pink is just a little bit too bright, and I can go in here and I can click this color pink, or I can go to a new color and drag and find whatever color I want. So if you're looking at her name is changing colors as we're going through, and you can kind of figure out whatever color you think would fit best using this. So let's go with this color. And then I want to change this obviously to me. So I'm going to go over to the left to uploads. And these are some different photos that I've already uploaded. If you haven't and you need to upload photos, you just click here and it will pop up your files, and you can upload there. And I'm going to scroll down, and there's one photo in particular that I want to use. So at the bottom, so you're seeing all my stuff you probably don't really care to see. So all I did was I clicked on my photo with the left clicker. I clicked, held, and dragged it over into the circle. And I'm going to click here, and I want to make this bigger. And I'm going to zoom back out so I can see it better. And I'm going to move this whole section back over and make it bigger again. There we go. And so my jacket is like a hot pinkish color. So wrong way. So I also like to kind of take colors that are in the photo and utilize that. So if I want to take a color that is in my photo that is already selected here for you, and sometimes it just kind of picks whatever color it can, and it's just trying to do its best job. This is a really good color. I still think it's a little bit too pinkish for me, and if I wanted, I could go and I could find a green color to match the trees on the side, just like that. And then I can also change this to be the same color if I wanted. so that it doesn't look so much like I'm wearing a hot pink jacket in that. And I think that this doesn't look super great being in the center. So I'm going to go up at the top and I'm just going to click my alignment and make it go to the left. Now, if I click and move it, it moves the whole thing. So I don't want that to happen. Instead, I'm just going to go up at the right and click ungroup. And that makes everything separate. So now I can move it left to right and I can change it. And let me zoom back in a little bit more and this is what I like to do. And give you my email, so if you have anything that you need help with, you can email me and my website. These are my real things. Obviously not my real number. So okay. And then I want to move this over just a smidge, and I really like to use my elements, and it just kind of gives me different shapes. So for example, if you don't really like the circle, you could use a square instead. And any of these frames that have the rolling hills and the sky behind it, these are going to allow you to drag and drop your photo into it. So I'll show you an example here. Now, this is just kind of a dramatic example just so you can see it. Let's bring Wilson over here and drag and drop. Oh man, that's kind of creepy, isn't it? I just want to kind of show you that it drags and drops just that section in there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this out because I don't need it, but I just wanted to show that to you. So for my elements, I'm going to type in phone, and I want to have a phone, but I want it really tiny. So I'm going to take the corner, make it small. And sometimes this is a good reason to have more spacing in between. So rather than just hitting enter like that, instead, I'm going to make it exactly like I want it. And I'm going to go up at the top and I'm going to click on spacing. And this gives me my line height is going to be different. You see that number is making more space, is going to giving me more space in between my phone number and my email. I believe this Control Z, it will make it all the same again. Change it all at the same time. There we go. So it's not quite exactly a whole enter, but it's giving me more space so I can actually have this and it looks more attractive. Now that lime green looks really terrible for what I've got going on here. I'm going to go up at the top and click on this little green button, and that is going to allow me to change the color. And I'm just simply going to change it to white. And email, or I can do an @ sign. Either one would be good. Just remember to think about how well this is going to look when it is when all of the different elements are together. See what I mean? It like immediately, you don't have much space almost immediately after. You can also click on it and then use your arrow key on your keyboard to move it up and down, and that works well too. I think this is going to be too big. That's probably a pretty good symbol for a website. It's an old school one, but hey, that's okay. Not many people have websites on their resume anyways. And then location. I like this little guy. You see those pink lines? That's going to help you to be able to know if you are in the right spot for alignment. So for example, if this one is over here and this one is over here, it just is going to look really confusing and it's not going to look great. So instead, if you use those pink lines, it really helps you to figure out exactly where each of these should be. And let's get this one centered. There we go. Click on another one. Now, I will tell you that these lines don't show up if you are moving the little elements around with your keyboard. So keep that in mind. This one white again. Okay, so this is, I really like to do this on my on my resumes. I think that it makes it look really clean and nice. And let's say that we don't like the font. So I'm just going to go up here to font. And what's really nice about Canva is that you can just type in whatever kind of font you want, or you can go ahead and search through a whole bunch of different ones. Now, because I have the paid version of Canva, I'm able to get each of these little crowns for free. If you don't pay for Canva, you can get any that do not have the little crown for free. So that is a nice little tip that they kind of show you ahead of time so you don't have to fall in love with them and then realize that you can't utilize it. I will also tell you to not have more than 2 fonts in your resume, because the more fonts you have, the more colors you have, it just ends up looking really, really distracting. And that is not what you're going to want for a resume. And I also want you to think about the top few inches of your resume. That is going to be key here. So usually when we get a resume emailed to us, we get it in a PDF file, which I'm going to always recommend you send your resume in a PDF. So because your resume will be in a PDF, that means that they can't edit anything, they can't change anything, and exactly like what you see on your computer is exactly what they get. For example, I have gotten numerous resumes that are sent to me in Word document. And because I don't have their version of Word document, means that it's not going to be sent over in a nice, pretty format. So always send it as a PDF. 1, so they can't edit it, and 2, so that it looks exactly like what you want it to look like. And you know, I really like a lot of everything that's on here, and I'm going to zoom out so that I can make this bigger and really see what it's going to look like. So I want this to be bigger, and then I'm going to make it skinnier here. And I'll change that stuff in just a minute. Okay, there we go. And so with this whole block, I'm going to ungroup this as well. I find that this makes it so much easier for you to be able to utilize each of these sections in the way that you want to utilize it. Otherwise, if you try to move work history, just that one little section, it moves the whole right side, like what you just saw when I was trying to expand it. And then now I can just make this just a smidge bigger, and I can move this over, whereas before I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have had to change the entire block, and that's not something I wanted to do. And another thing that you can do, so if you have this white background, if you want it just to be a little bit of a different color, you can change the background. See, that's a little too close to the sky. It kind of blends in on it. That's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. So I'm going to go over here to green, and I'm going to make it a really, really pale green. That's a really pale green. So you can tell that it's not white, but it's kind of still just looks almost like it's just a solid color, and I think it looks really nice. So that's one way to make it stand out just a little bit more and not be so white. And then going in here, go back and change your colors, or you can make it that dark green color, and then these could be black, and then this could be black as well. And then your titles will just be green, and anything pink will be black. So I think that this is a great format, and I'm not going to really edit. I don't think I need to edit a ton more, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys how Canva works and how you can make a really, really elegant looking resume in a pretty short amount of time. And oh, let me give you one other tip that a lot of people don't tell you about. So when you go to school, whether if you only graduated from high school or you went to a vocational school or you went to a university, I would always recommend for you to take the date off. They don't need to know how old you are. And if you think that hiring managers don't look to see how old you are wrong. I know so many people who that's one of the first things that they look for is how old you are. So if you just graduated or if you've been in the field for a long time, and it just does not need to be on there. You're not supposed to be discriminated by your age, but I can tell you that there's a lot of hiring managers out there that will discriminate you by your age, and that's one way that you can take that off. Now, if in your work history you have worked in one place since like 1990 and you've continued to work there, and obviously that's going to kind of tell your age, but you can't really get away from that. But I will encourage you, if that is the case and you don't want them to think that you are, say, 40 or older or 50 or older, which that makes it very difficult for you to get a job. I completely understand. When you're older, it's hard to get a job. When you're younger, it's hard to get a job. Really, your sweet spot is between like 27 and I'd say probably 40, 45-ish. The age is easiest for you to be able to acquire a job, but this is one way to be able to get around it so that they don't know your age. They can't discriminate against you, and they will give you equal opportunity, just like you should have. So that's one of my big tips when you go to a university or a high school or whatever your academic history is. Do not put your age on there, basically your graduating year. Now, because I put this all the way to the left, I'm going to say that these should also be to the left instead of centered. And again, you can move this over so that it kind of all fits together, but I would say to keep them all so that they line up so that it's very appealing to your eyes. All right, guys, I hope that this has helped you to understand that Canva is a very easy space to use. And I hope that this has helped you and to figure out how to use Canva a little bit better. If you have some questions about Canva, about how to use it, I've probably clicked on every single button possible for Canva, so let me know and I can help you. Oh, before we go, where it says Pink Femme Modern Resume up at the top, this is when you save this is what the title is going to be when you save it. So clearly that's not what you wanted to say, so all you got to do is click on that, and it should also say your name. And again, like I was talking about, saving it as a PDF, download, PDF, either one is fine as long as it's a PDF, and then you will save it and you will send it this way. Save, save, save. I don't need to print it. But see, that's what it says up at the top, my resume. Otherwise, it would have said whatever it said before I edited it. And you can see that the formatting is all exactly the same how I had it. And this is the preferred way to save and send your resume. If you have any additional questions, I would love if you could put it in the comments below, and I'd be happy to help. Or you've got my email right there, and I just feel free to send me an email, and I might be able to solve the bugs that you might be having with Canva, or even with Word document. I'm pretty well versed in Word document as well.
How was that video? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did it teach you a lot of things? Have you ever used Canva? Are you going to use it now? Are you going to use it for everything? Yeah, right. I know, because I use it for everything. So hopefully you have learned lots of great information on how to use Canva and some different tips and tricks that maybe would have taken you a while to figure out. I wish you the best of luck. And if you're feeling spicy, if you want to send me your Canva resume, go ahead and email it to me so that I can take a look if you're super proud of it. I would love to share the enthusiasm with you. My email is careerelevationce@gmail.com. In addition to that, I will let you know that if you do need one-on-one help, if you just don't quite understand Canva, this doesn't make sense to you, you don't know how to use Word document very well, or you're just not very creative, or you don't have the time, feel free to click on the link below that says Work with Wendy, and it brings you to my website, which in there it will guide you through some different prompts, and you can see how you can work best with me if you need some help. If you need a digital course that's just self-paced to teach you all of the steps from A to Z, or if you need me to create the resume for you, or if you need a mock interview, or something within those realms is in that button, Work with Me. So go ahead and click that, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have really enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and like, so that I am put in front of other people who are in your shoes looking for a position that just needs more help, more assistance. Thank you so much, and I will see you back here next Monday